Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Chris-Beth Cowie, and welcome to BizGrams. Also, as the founder of Empowered Facts, we get to work with some dynamic entrepreneurs in our community, giving you a chance to hear their stories, learn about their entrepreneurial journey. And today I'm super excited because we have Ayan with us, and she is a visual artist. Ayan, welcome to you this morning.
Thank you. Good morning to you guys as well.
Hey, thank you so much. So tell us, how did you get started as a visual artist?
A visual artist. So I graduated university in 2017 and I had a lot of downtime because I was in the middle of like doing a part-time job, just graduated, wasn't really doing anything. So I just decided to start like painting to like pass the time. And then eventually as the years went on, like 2 years later, I started to take it more serious. Probably during quarantine is like when I got the most serious with it because I was home all the time. I wasn't doing anything for like 4 months, and I like kind of just learned how to paint. And then once quarantine, like once the world started to open back up, I was able to like sell commissions in person as well as like open up an Etsy shop and just like kind of have a little art business. So it's been about a year now.
Hey, that is awesome, and congratulations to you. I know that one of the cool things about your work, it's centered around, really empowering Black women. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about, the inspiration for your art?
Yeah, so I basically went to the MoMA around like 2018, and there was a lot of just figurative art, but like not centered around Black people. And I was like, that's kind of weird because like most of the world, like at least 80% is like mixed, you know? So I was just like, hey, like, and then I realized like as I'm getting older, I want to buy like art pieces for like the house and like my room. And it's just like hard finding artwork that's centered around our experience, specifically Black women. So I was just like, let me focus my artwork on that and hopefully bring products to people just like me that were looking for those products in different spaces.
Hey, that is such a powerful story. And I think, as I'm listening to you, it's like, yes, the representation, a
Yeah.
holistic approach and look at life. I consider myself a global citizen. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, currently live in Canada, but I've traveled to over 14 different countries. And I believe that each space brings a unique experience and vibrancy. And, not to see that Black representation, I think it's almost a disservice to the holistic and wholeness of our world. And so I really appreciate the work that you're doing. Do you want to show us some of your work?
Yeah, so let me just show you these. So this is one that I finished a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, it's like covered in like varnish, so it's kind of glossy, but this one's untitled. It's part of a series. I have a couple just like this, and basically what I like to explore are like African hairstyles. So it's a figure, and then every single figure has like a different hairstyle, and then I play on the colors within the shirt. And then I have this one here. This one here is just like a girl, I guess like on a day, like post quarantine where she's like out and about with her friends, just like having a picnic, hopefully a lot of us soon.
Yes.
Not much thought put into it. Sometimes I just like to make things that like look nice. So like for this one, the pattern was really important for me. The pop of yellow and then on the grass. This is probably one of the most challenging ones because I've never painted grass before. So this was like a month-long process of like doing and undoing.
Yeah, and she has a little afro like mine. I love
that. Yeah, I always make sure to like have that hairstyle in because that's like I feel like how you connected with it like that. You're just like, hey, like she's me kind of.
Yes, yes.
And then I'll show you one more. So this one is called Running in the Dark. And it's basically like I saw a photograph of a woman in Sudan. And like they usually dress in like vibrant, we call them like niqabs, like hijabs and stuff, to cover them. It's like part of Islam, right? So I like initially had her like running in like a landscape, But then I decided to just paint it as if she's in the dark. And it's kind of like an ode to immigrant mothers that like they're kind of just like running in the dark. They come into this country and like they're able to just, like, I don't know, pick up and create like such a supportive lifestyle for their children without like necessarily knowing all the rules. They just come and they're like running in the dark and they just like make it to the light eventually. So yeah, so those are like three pieces.
I love it. And the story behind it is definitely powerful. As an immigrant myself, I came here when I was 13 and seeing my parents having to navigate this space with, little or no support. We had family here, but, everybody's doing their own thing and they have the right to figure it out, right? And so asking great questions, but that photo is very powerful. And I'm sure there are many people that can connect with the story as well. So where are some of the spaces that we can see your work?
So I have a website, www.ayanmuse.com. But I mainly just show on my Instagram. Instagram and like word of mouth is how I usually get most of my sales. So my Instagram is at Ayan Museum.
Hey, that's wonderful. One of the things as a visual artist, I consider myself a creative. I'm not as good as a drawer as you are. My creativity comes out in the way of like creating things. I have the idea for it and I'm like, who can help me do this, right? So starting businesses is definitely one of the spaces where my creativity comes out, as well as helping to problem solve. I'm guessing for you, this transition and what we oftentimes hear, artists, that struggling artist story. I'm wondering for yourself on your entrepreneurial journey, and I know you just shared, you've just really about a year and a half ago, really diving into this in a full way. How has that transition been for you from just, hey, I'm doing my art and now I have to build a business around this thing? How has that been for you?
It's really hard to like switch between the creative and like the business mindset, because obviously the business mindset is more like focused on commodifying the product, but like to me the product is very like it's very personal, so it's very hard to be like, hey, I want to put this on a t-shirt, I want to put this on like a cup, but then like the business side of me is always just like, but I can make money off of this, and like my art cannot just go to one home, it could be shared to a lot of different people, and which is innately like what I want everyone to have a piece of my art and for them to connect to it. So having to transition into that business mindset has been really difficult, but I'm slowly grasping. I'm slowly like trying to get there.
Hey, that is awesome. And I know as a young entrepreneur as well, just curious, what are some of the things that you've done to bolster your awareness to really go from just, that creative component to, you talked about commoditizing, making it a commodity, sorry, commercializing, right? So what are some of the things you've done to help commercialize your product and then your learning and all of those things?
Basically, like I know like through Instagram, you see like a whole bunch of different people that are doing something similar to you, but in like a different and creative way. So connecting with those people online have helped be like, okay, well, they're creating artwork and they're allowed to like put it on a bunch of different items. Like maybe you can commoditize it and learn from them in like a similar way. But something I like to listen to is the Business of Hype podcast. It's basically about different like business owners and like how they got to their journey, and like whether that's fashion designer, graphic illustrator, like sneaker collectors and like sellers. Just hearing their like journey, because it's basically all the same, like we're all just trying to get to like a successful place in our passion basically. So just like listening to them, it's really inspirational, kind of like pushes you to like be successful in your passion as well.
Hey, that is wonderful. And I'm just curious, what would you say has been your biggest challenge today?
My biggest challenge would definitely be putting myself out there with my art. It's like hard for me sometimes, especially because I'm like a introverted extrovert. Like I'm not someone to like, and with your art, you have to be like shameless kind of. You gotta have to be like, here's my art, buy it, please. So that transition has been difficult for me, but networking and putting myself out there early on has allowed really great opportunities for me. So I always try to keep that in mind when I'm trying to put myself out there.
Hey, that is so wonderful. And I know one of the things that you love to talk about is, finding confidence on this journey. What has entrepreneurship done to support your confidence building in this way?
Um, I think just like putting your idea out there and seeing that, like it's not as scary as you think it is. And there's actually a lot of people that want to support you on your journey as well, kind of helped. So like getting that feedback initially, putting myself out there, having my friends like constantly reposting my work and then having people like tell me like, hey, you're good. It kind of like puts that battery in your back to be like, it's not as scary as you think. And the benefits actually weigh the negatives that you like consistently think about in your head when you're scared and you don't want to put out yourself out there. Like that doesn't really do much for you. Putting your idea out there will give you so many opportunities that you like never would have thought could happen, and it's better for you at the end of the day as well.